Hey everyone, the purpose of this video is to give you the Centaur Code of Honor just as a guideline as you watch the rest of my videos, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about and see the rules that I use to guide my Centaurs by. And I am filming this episode after episode 1, so I'm going to repeat my apologies for the horrible quality of the video and the shakiness of it because it's sitting on my lap. Also, the gurgling noises can be heard, I found out, as I was listening to episode 1, so I apologize for those too. For this one, I'm planning on reading directly from my written notes, so I will not be looking at the camera again, but I will try and glance up. Let's see here. So, the Centaur Code of Honor. So, point 1, the alpha makes all the decisions advised by the beta. 2, in the case of the alpha being ill or otherwise unable to fulfill his or her duties, the beta will take over until the alpha returns to their duties. 3, the alpha's firstborn son, or, in rare cases, daughter, if they have no son, will become the future alpha. 4, the marriage of an alpha, or the birth of an alpha foal, is cause for a celebration lasting for 3. The healer must swear to never take a mate, nor have foals. 6, any healer who breaks Code 5 is to be stripped of their position and banished. Their apprentice will be appointed in their place. 7, healers may only have one apprentice at a time. 8, the following are Centaur age brackets. 0 to 2 years, child. 3 to 5 years is puberty. 6 to 49 years is adult. And 50 plus is elder. 9, mares are to go out every day, except in bad weather, to collect edible berries and plants for eating. 10, stallions are to go out at 3-day intervals to hunt for large game. 11, young fillies and colts of 2 to 4 years are to go out and help their parents gather food. 12, any animal caught by a hunter belongs to him. 13, as proof of their purity, young mares will have their tails braided until their wedding night. Then her mate will undo it before they come together, so to speak. So, as proof of their virginity, so to speak, the mares will have their tails braided unless they have come together. Then it'll be unbraided most likely, but it is very, very uncommon for that to happen. And they'll normally be braided by probably roughly 3 years, just when they reach puberty. And it's a very serious thing for someone to be defiled. So it's kind of a serious matter for centaurs. 14, as a token of betrothal, young stallions may give their intended a wreath of flowers for her hair. 15, young mares are allowed to reject the betrothal offers. 16, mares under 5 years but over 3 are required to have a chaperone with them at all times, just to make sure if they're in the presence of a colt. Also, to add on to the chastity thing, they're not allowed to kiss anyone on the lips or on the cheek unless they're mother, father, sibling sort of thing, unless they are married to them. That is also a very important thing, that they do not give their kiss away, more or less. 17, when a mare first conceives, she and her mate will have a band permanently inked onto their ring finger, so like this finger, so to speak, where I have my ring. This signifies that their marriage is official. I haven't quite decided how that's going to happen. I'd assume it's with some sort of berry juice, most likely, mixed with something so that it doesn't get absorbed into the skin, so that it stays permanently. 18, it is unlawful for a mare or filly over 3 to be seen bare of clothing by any other than her mother, mate, or the healer. 19, fillies are required to wear a band of skin around under their shirt to conceal their womanly, once they reach 4 years old. So they do wear like a modest shirt over it, kind of like, it's kind of similar to a tank top, I'd say. Not quite, but it covers the shoulders, neck height, And they are required to wear a band of skin until they are married. Then they will basically just wear a single band of skin right here, kind of like a bra. 20, stallions may not be exempted from hunting duty unless he or his mate are ill or his mate is due to foal. 21, mares should only take light loads once they reach 7 months of pregnancy. Once they reach 9 months, they stop all work. And for those of you who are not familiar with horses in general, which is the guidelines I used for centaurs, their pregnancy lasts 11 months. So that goes for centaurs as well. I did not shorten it as I have seen some other people do. I figured it was best to leave it that long because of it being part horse. 22. It is customary to officially announce an expected foal once the mare reaches her 6th month. 23. A mated pair is responsible for the upbringing of their foal or foals. 24. It is customary for all work to cease when a mare goes into labor and enters the healer's cave, because they generally live in a singular clearing altogether, so it might be disruptive of the mare, or just in general for the daily life activities as the mare is laboring. 25. It is customary for the healer to bring the foal out for the tribe to see once the mare has named it and it has been cleaned off. 26. The father of the foal is permitted to be present during foaling unless the laboring mare wishes otherwise. 27. It is customary to allow new parents 30 days or a month to spend with the foal before being required to do work again. 28. Newlywed pairs are allowed to roam for 1 week outside of the tribe, just kind of in the general land, so they can kind of be alone without prying eyes and ears those first few nights. 29. If a young mare conceives with a mate, she is eligible to be banished, but this rarely happens in Nasser and Menadni because they are so tolerant. It is more prominent with the Telex. We have not had any premarital things in the Asirfas, surprisingly, unless you count what has happened before, but it does not normally occur very often. 30. Laws of purity are as follows, which ties into what I was speaking about earlier with point number 13 through, I think it's 14. Fillies nor colts shall kiss anyone before their wedding day, as I said. Fillies should braid their tails and never let it be seen down by any male except sire and healer, since it's before, during the cages they might need to wash it or some other reason. Colts shall not see fillies or mares without clothing. Very good rule to have. Fillies nor colts shall engage in intercourse before their wedding night. And then we'll move on to the Zetar Code of Honor. I will highlight in the description down below the points that are different from the Centaur ones. So, or actually, I got a better idea. Let's just read off the points that are different than the Centaurs, because otherwise they're basically all the same. So let's see, let me look for it for a minute. They have less points just because they do not do certain things like the Centaurs do. Let's see here, point 9. Mares are to go out every single day except in extreme weather to gather edible berries and plants. 10. Stallions are to go out at 3-day intervals to hunt for game. Let's see, where's the next one? 13. As a proof of betrothal, young stallions may give their intended a gift of small furs. Let's see. 17. Stallions may never be exempted from hunting duty. 18. Mares should only take light loads once they reach 9 months of pregnancy. Once they reach 10 and a half months, they stop all work. So they have a very different lifestyle. 20. A mated pair is responsible for the upbringing of their foal or foals. Oh, and I skipped 19. I'm sorry. 19. It is customary to officially announce an expected foal once the mare reaches her 7th month. Let's see. 23. The father of the foal is only permitted to be present during the foaling if the mare wishes it and if he has no other duties that day. 24. And this is a big one. Mares do not require the assistance of the healer during foaling unless specifically requested by their mate. 25. After foaling, new parents are allowed 14 days to spend with the foal before being required to work again. 26. Newlywed pairs are allowed 2 days alone. 27. If the young filly conceives, she is shunned. And that's all. So do you notice the lack of the purity laws? So they have literally nothing. And honestly, there is quite a bit. Do you like my bookmark? They have quite a bit of mare filly colt relations before marriage, if you are getting my meaning. Let's see, and I'll see how well this works. This is for the wedding garment. I don't know if you can see. So it's this right here with the shoulder straps, and I'm a horrible drawer, and it actually is quite modest compared to some of the other ones. And bear in mind, this is a different wedding ceremony for a different tar, but it is the exact same wedding garment. Okay, now we'll get on to the wedding ceremony. I am still reading it off of notes I have on paper, and I have shown you the bridal garment. So let's move on to the wedding ceremony, shall we? Let's see. A week before, the pair to be wed will exchange small gifts. Then they will separate and each go to a place from which they will not go until the day of their marriage. So just basically taking a week to themselves, not seeing each other, which possibly could be very hard, but it actually can test and see if they actually are able to take that, I guess. The morning of, the bride will begin to get ready, combing out her hair, which is very likely long, like really long, and weaving flowers together to make a headdress. She will twine a The groom goes through a similar prep, covers his body with an oil so that he gleams, which make him look really, really, really sexy. And combing out his long tail. The bride has hers braided as a mark of purity, and she weaves flowers into it. When the time comes for the ceremony, the alpha and the tribe gather around a specific place, and the alpha takes their place. Then the groom comes galloping over and stands beside him, and they wait together for the bride. She appears attended by a single matron who leads her in 3 or more fillies who are not married yet and have not broken any purity vows, so to speak. So they are a virgin. They're all dressed the same manner as the bride, the matron being the exception. She wears the traditional garment, just the single band over her womanly features. The matron then places the bride's hands in the groom's. Then they gather behind Alpha, the matron bridesmaid, and the rest of the bridesmaids. The Alpha begins with the following. Under this sun, we unite so-and-so into a single being. Then he continues, and this couple states the following vows. I promise to love my life, to keep you safe, and to protect you with my life if need be. I promise to forsake anyone else as long as we live. Then the Alpha states, you have proved your love for one another, and it has been witnessed. You are now one flesh, and let nothing separate you. Then he steps back, and the groom kisses the bride. Then he removes her anklet and places it on his wrist. So it's a very intimate ceremony. I'm looking forward to actually writing it out for some of my Centaurs. I have not yet. So I will be very excited to finally share it with you once I write it out. And if you have any questions, please comment below and I'll get to them in my next video. Like and subscribe down below to get updates on my absolutely crazy uploading schedule. I am on Wattpad. Look for my username, Centaur Queen, which is the same as below. And have a wonderful day, everyone, and stay safe.